Welcome to Oraculum, where we examine strange and mysterious stories. Today we will look at a mystery that's haunted the small town of Buckhannon, and to this day continues to baffle investigators and those closest to the case. Tonight we dive into the eerie disappearance of Luke Stout, a young man with a passion for art, music, and a family who loved him dearly. His sudden vanishing in 2012 remains one of the most perplexing and unsettling cases in Buckhannon, West Virginia. Stay tuned as we uncover the details of this chilling disappearance. Chapter 1. The last time anyone saw Luke. It was the afternoon of July 18th, 2012. Luke Stout, 24 years old, said his goodbyes to his mother Elizabeth and his brother Kenny. "I love you. I'll be back later," Luke told them as he walked down the driveway of their home on Hickory Flat Road, carrying a green bicycle frame. He had plans that evening to meet up with a friend named Dylan and fix his bike. You see, Luke had been having trouble with the handlebars of his bike, and a day or so before he had to abandon it in Buckhannon, planning to return and make repairs. Luke had forgotten to pay for his insurance, the car insurance, and so a friend was kind enough to offer him a ride on that fateful day. Unfortunately, we don't know who that person was. We only know that between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., Luke was last seen heading out, with no one knowing what would come next. Chapter 2. The Missing Bike. A few days later, Luke's brothers made an unsettling discovery. They found Luke's bike leaning against a trailer in a trailer park behind the CVS in Buckhannon. The person living in the trailer at the time was known as Buddha. But what was Luke's bike doing there? Did Luke make it to town? The bike's handlebars hadn't been fixed, which raised more questions than answers. The brothers immediately contacted the police. However, instead of launching an investigation, they were simply told to take the bike home. They never questioned anyone in the area, and worse, they didn't even begin to inquire about the residents who could have witnessed anything unusual. Why wasn't this treated as a lead? Chapter 3. The Failure of Law Enforcement. Luke's family, desperate for answers, turned to Texas EquiSearch, a volunteer-based team known for its search efforts in missing person cases. But when they requested help from the West Virginia State Police, their plea was denied. Can you imagine? A free team of experts offering their assistance only to be turned away? The family was left reeling in disbelief. This refusal only deepened the rift between the Stout family and the West Virginia State Police. But the lack of support didn't end there. Elizabeth Stout, Luke's mother, learned that one of the local officers had been speaking poorly about her son while in uniform. After speaking with the mayor, Elizabeth was invited to a city council meeting to express her concerns. Unfortunately, like so many meetings before, no answers were given, and no one was held accountable. Chapter 4. A Deadly Connection. Now let's take a detour for a moment. Back to January 2012, a man named Joshua Oberg went missing from Buckhannon. On July 23rd, just days after Luke's disappearance, several men were arrested after Joshua's body was found in a shallow grave. It turned out that Oberg had been murdered in a twisted hire-for-murder plot. Rodolfo Villagomez, known as Chino, had orchestrated the killing because Oberg was having an affair with Chino's wife, Kelly. So why is this relevant? Well, Chino, the man behind the murder of Joshua Oberg, had previously threatened Luke. Luke himself told people that Chino had pressed the barrel of a gun against his forehead so hard that it left a mark. Elizabeth Stout witnessed that mark firsthand. Yet, despite this, neither the local city police nor the state police took any action. Had they listened to Luke's complaint, would this chain of violence have been stopped? Would they have found answers for both Luke and Joshua? Chapter 5. the continuing mystery. Luke's disappearance remains unsolved, and many questions linger in the small town of Buckhannon. Who was behind this disappearance of his? Was it someone he knew? Why wasn't the police department more proactive in following up on leads? And what about Dylan, the friend he was supposed to meet that day? Why hasn't anyone questioned him? As of now, the case of Luke Stout is a haunting mystery, and despite the efforts of his family, the answers remain elusive. His story is one that continues to tug at the hearts of those who knew him, and those who now hear about it for the first time. But for the Stout family, there is only one question that remains. Where is Luke? Thank you for joining us on this heartbreaking journey through the mysterious disappearance of Luke Stout. As always, if you have any information about this case, or if you feel like you could help uncover the truth, don't hesitate to speak up. You never know what a small piece of information could uncover. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious.